Breaking tonight, the Prime Minister's surprise trip to meet Donald Trump. Sources confirm Justin Trudeau is dining at Mar-a-Lago after Trump's tariff threat.
Donald Trump, when he makes statements like that, he plans on carrying them out.
What we've learned about the meeting. Holiday shopping ramps up, but some gifts are stuck in limbo.
I don't know how to get them back.
Your holiday parcel could cost more and be delayed.
It's a little bit stressful.
Notre-Dame rises from the ashes. We take you inside the famed cathedral, restored and ready for visitors.
From CBC News, this is The National with Ian Hennemensing.
We're watching a breaking story tonight. The Prime Minister is in Florida right now, likely on a mission to convince Donald Trump to spare Canada from steep tariffs he's threatened to impose on goods from this country. Trudeau disembarked from a flight that was in the air before news even broke of this surprise visit. He first stopped at his hotel, then left for a meeting with the president-elect. The Prime Minister's motorcade headed to Trump's Mar-a-Lago resort and a dinner conversation that could be of vital importance. Trump's proposed 25% tariff would be devastating for Canada's economy. Chief political correspondent Rosemary Barton is following the developments. And Rosie, you've been working your sources. Tell us what you know.
This meeting came together, Ian, very quickly, and you're quite right, was quite a big surprise. It is a significant meeting at a significant moment for this country. Let me tell you a little bit about who is down there with the Prime Minister, as well as some of his key advisors, his Chief of Staff. Justin Trudeau has brought along Dominic LeBlanc, who is his Minister of Public Safety, the Minister, of course, in charge of the security at Canada's borders, which is such a key concern to the President-elect. Sources tell us also that Trump has some key members of his cabinet nominees there at the table tonight. Governor Doug Burgum, who is the Interior Secretary, also sort of known as Trump's energy czar. Howard Lutnick is the Commerce Secretary. This is the man who will be dealing with trade and could put those tariffs in place. And finally, Mike Walls, he's the National Security Advisor. He also would be very concerned about the border, is a very outspoken critic of China. The dinner officially got underway around 7:30 Eastern, Ian. It's not clear when it will end, but it is clear that there's a lot riding on this moment.
And Rosie, take us through some of the politics at play here.
Yeah, it's been a very challenging week, Ian, for the Prime Minister, for the country, for businesses, for premiers who all got this social media post from Donald Trump on Monday and kind of panicked, frankly, about the reality and the crushing impact this would have on Canada's economy. Justin Trudeau had an emergency meeting with premiers on Thursday to talk about a Team Canada approach. The face-to-face meeting here that they have managed to get is, as I said, very significant. It will allow them to try and better understand some of the concerns that the president has and allow Canada to explain what it is already doing to address some of the president-elect's concerns. A political win, certainly, to get the meeting, Ian, but there is a lot at risk if there is no good outcome here, and it will be Justin Trudeau who wears that if he doesn't get something out of tonight.
Rosemary Barton covering this breaking news for us tonight. The union representing postal workers has filed a formal complaint with Canada's Industrial Relations Board tonight after Canada Post confirmed it's been laying off striking employees. Canada Post says it needed to make adjustments to operations. The strike now entering its third week, and as Nisha Patel shows us, as the holidays loom, frustrations are growing.
'Tis the season for gift giving, and while shopping for presents can be stressful, this year so is mailing them.
Mailing gifts, mailing cards to my family. They're in Nova Scotia, so it makes it hard.
We'll find alternatives, but not every place you send something, you can actually use other alternatives.
With a national strike shutting down Canada Post services, many packages are stuck in limbo.
I don't know how to get them back.
A lot of delays, and we don't know the expected timelines to receive them.
I have a big family, and yeah, it's a little bit stressful.
Now Canadians are turning to other shipping companies, though their services often cost more and may not be available in rural areas.
If you're talking about multiple presents and each is shipped at a rate that's 50% or more greater than Canada Post rate, then it starts to sound like it's not worth it.
Small businesses, too, are scrambling, like this underwear company in Calgary.
It has really really slowed down our abilities to ship to our customers effectively, and it's hurting our bottom line.
It can cost him as much as $12 more per package, and he's had to pass that on.
We've had to then reach out to customers and go, hey, we're sorry, we had one price, but that's not available anymore.
For those still checking off their lists, experts say digital gift cards are a no-fuss option, and shopping close to home can avoid some stress.
Go shop at a small local business. There's probably going to be a lot of them right in their neighborhood.
Nisha, the strike now going into its third week. Are we getting any sense at all of when it could end?
Ian, Canada Post and its union still seem far apart in their negotiations. Talks broke off earlier this week, and it's not clear when they'll get back to the bargaining table. The last strike back in 2018 went on for about a month before the federal government stepped in. This time, Ottawa says it has no plans to intervene, though that could change at any time. Ian?
Nisha Patel in Richmond Hill, Ontario. The Liberals' plans for a 2-month sales tax holiday is now before the Senate, but the fate of the government's promised $250 checks for workers is unclear.
So to see the NDP, which was supposedly the party of workers, turn its back on hardworking Canadians and say, no, we shouldn't be delivering this check.
The NDP and the Bloc Québécois insisted seniors and others should also get rebate checks in April. As for the sales tax holiday, it would start on December 14th if the Senate agrees, applying to a variety of goods, including toys, books, and some alcohol. Major Canadian media organizations, including the CBC, are banding together tonight to sue the company behind the artificial intelligence tool ChatGPT. They argue OpenAI is illegally using their content. Cameron McIntosh looks at what's at stake.
Can you tell me about the lawsuit?
ChatGPT can give you a tailored headline about the lawsuit against it.
Canadian media companies have filed a lawsuit against OpenAI.
Some of Canada's largest media companies allege it can only do that because its parent company, OpenAI, scrapes stories from the web, including Canadian ones, to train it.
In our view, the activities of OpenAI fall squarely within Canadian copyright law and squarely within breach of contract law.
Lawyer Sana Hawani is representing several of Canada's largest media companies, including CBC Radio Canada.
The Canadian media companies want OpenAI to make them whole. They want to be paid for the content that's been taken from them. And they also want OpenAI to stop scraping their content.
OpenAI denies the allegations. In a statement said, our models are trained on publicly available data, grounded in fair use and related international copyright principles that are fair for creators and support innovation. Other media, including the New York Times, have made similar allegations against OpenAI. That case is in U.S. court. It's not just news. Music publishers are making similar complaints against other AI companies, as musicians like Billie Eilish demand protections from AI trained to write and sound like popular artists. All of it posing big questions over how AI models are built and how far copyrights extend.
They have to prove that their content was used without their permission.
This expert says Canada's generally strong copyright laws are untested here.
We need a clear message at this point whether this kind of practice is acceptable in Canada or not.
None of the allegations have been proven in court. The financial stakes here are big, with the media companies alleging billions in damages. OpenAI has yet to respond in court. Cameron McIntosh, CBC News, Winnipeg.
The head coach of the Toronto FC soccer club, John Herdman, has stepped down. He took the job just this summer. In a statement, Herdman didn't give a reason for his resignation. He has been dogged by the Canada soccer drone spying scandal. Herdman maintained spying didn't take place at the Olympics and World Cups when he was a national coach. The federal government's relationship with Métis people is set to enter a new phase. A treaty signing on Saturday is meant to repair a long-standing omission. Olivia Stefanovic looks at the potential promise and some of the painful history.
At the headquarters of the Manitoba Métis Federation, anticipation is building. On Saturday, more than 150 years of history will finally be addressed.
It means to me pride. It's fixing a wrong.
President David Chartrand will sign the first ever modern-day treaty between Canada and the Red River Métis, officially recognizing the Manitoba Métis Federation as the government of all Métis citizens with historic roots in the Red River homeland, no matter where they live.
We've always faced the hostility of being recognized as a people that we truly are proud of with our own culture, identity, our own language.
The Red River Métis initially negotiated a treaty with Canada back in 1870. It was called the Manitoba Act, and it led to the province entering Confederation.
The Métis contributed to the founding of this country in creating it.
But Canada's promises of land and economic opportunities were never kept. The new treaty is a step towards changing that.
It corrects history. It shows that when people work at things that we can get it right.
This is a historical day. I'm super excited.
And the federal minister says it could lead to more agreements to advance Métis rights and interests.
It's about moving forward on a nation-to-nation relationship, one that recognizes the authority, the inherent authorities of Indigenous peoples.
Like all Canadians, we want a justice system that's fair to all as Métis people. We want a good education system for our children. We want to have good health. We want to have adequate housing. And this will give us a chance to work on those things together.
For the treaty to be enforced, the Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations must first introduce legislation and get it passed in the House of Commons with a little less than a year before the next scheduled federal election. Olivia Stefanovich, CBC News, Ottawa.
In Syria, a surprise offensive by rebel groups is raising fears tonight that the long-running civil war could enter a new and dangerous phase. Insurgents have entered the second-largest city, Aleppo, in what's being described as the biggest attack in years. And as Chris Reyes reports, experts say the timing is no accident.
For the first time in 8 years, rebel forces have entered Aleppo, Syria's second-largest city, seizing a major road and targeting government offices with car bombs. In a country still torn by civil war, the surprise offensive was celebrated in nearby Idlib, a rebel stronghold. The joy is indescribable, this resident said. God willing, Aleppo is just the beginning. Another resident called the Syrian government the oppressor, adding that their celebration is for all of Syria. The country has been at war since President Bashar al-Assad cracked down on protests during the Arab Spring. What followed was years of brutal fighting between insurgent groups and forces loyal to Assad, backed by Russia and Iran. But this is the largest offensive since 2020.
When there's a confrontation, it's going to be in urban centers right now, in highly populated urban centers. So there's going to be a lot of civilian fatalities, unfortunately.
The UN has expressed alarm over the unfolding situation, reporting that the recent attacks have claimed at least 27 civilians, including children.
There's millions living in Aleppo, so it is a highly urban center.
Leading the rebel forces that entered Aleppo, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, or HTS, a jihadist Islamist group who may be capitalizing on the fact that Assad's ally, Iran, is preoccupied with other conflicts.
Rebel groups like the HTS, they see this as an ideal time with Hezbollah and Iranian-backed militias are weakened.
This offensive has been underway since the Hezbollah ceasefire deal came into effect. Russia's military has now stepped in, its air force bombing rebel forces, according to Russia's state-run media. Another escalation in a war that's already claimed hundreds of thousands of lives and displaced millions more. Chris Reyes, CBC News, New York.
In the Eastern European country of Georgia, protesters are taking to the streets for a second night. Upset, the ruling party suspended negotiations to join the European Union. Police deployed water cannons and tear gas, trying to get the crowds to disperse near Parliament. Georgia's ceremonial president accused the state of declaring war on its people after last night's police crackdown on demonstrations. Last month, the ruling Georgian Dream Party won an election that opposition parties say was rigged with Russia's help.
There are so many people out there that have a hope that they may not have to suffer.
And the British Parliament has taken the first step towards allowing medically assisted dying in England and Wales. It would apply to mentally competent adults with 6 months or less left to live. But lawmakers were only about 55% in favor. The bill could still be altered or voted down as it moves through the House of Commons and the House of Lords. We're getting a first look inside the fully restored Notre-Dame Cathedral in Paris, 5 years after that devastating fire. The French president had a peek before the official reopening. Heather Gillis shows us the stunning refurbishment.
An enduring symbol of Paris, Notre Dame, now restored. French President Emmanuel Macron got a glimpse of the iconic Gothic cathedral, reconstructed.
Le choc de la réouverture.
Saying he believes the shock of Notre Dame reopening will be as strong as the shock of the fire and inspire hope. Reborn from the ashes of that devastating fire in 2019, which took just hours to destroy key parts of the 800-year-old church, one of the most visited monuments in Paris. The spire smashing through timbers spanning its roof, shattering French hearts and shocking the world. 5.5 years later, it's reopening, rebuilt using medieval methods, wood from centuries-old oak, stained glass, buttresses and gargoyles restored too, costing more than $1 billion Canadian. The National got an inside look earlier this year to see the massive restoration firsthand. Macron thanked about 1,000 craftsmen and women for their meticulous work, calling it the project of a century. We owe this metamorphosis to you, he said, transforming coal into art, calling the fire a national wound. These restoration workers, its remedy. Parisians can't wait to see inside, including this Notre Dame superfan. Forged after the fire, the craftspeople who restored the cathedral formed a choir. Now they're practicing for a performance following the reopening. It allows them to find closure, says this engineer, after a strenuous job, one he hopes is ending on a good note. Notre Dame's opening ceremony will happen next weekend, followed by days of special masses to celebrate. It will reopen to the public on December 8th. Heather Gillis, CBC News, Toronto.
A northern Saskatchewan community is dealing with multiple cases of scurvy.
Families are making impossible decisions. They're trying to feed their families as most nutritious diet as they can.
Concerns that rising food prices are leading to malnutrition. Next. Forcing those addicted to drugs to get help against their will. Julia Wong takes us south of the border to a state where involuntary treatment is already the law. And later, the gift of mobility for some very special young kids.
Just the pure look of joy in their eyes as they're scooting around in the cars for the first time. It was wonderful.
We're back in 2. A hiker who was found after 50 days in the remote BC backcountry is out of hospital tonight. That's Sam Benestick on the left with Mike Reed, the owner of the lodge his family stayed at while the search was underway. The 20-year-old was reported missing last month after he didn't return from a camping trip. He was found this week and treated in hospital for frostbite. A sudden surge of scurvy cases in a Saskatchewan town is highlighting a pressing issue for many northern communities. Alexander Silberman on why some blame food insecurity and what can be done to make sure people are getting enough vitamin C.
La Ronge is the hub of Saskatchewan's north, a small town with long winters and vast lakes, struggling with the challenges of isolation and the diseases that come with it, including scurvy.
Susan, do you want to get tea?
At the food bank, volunteers deliver hampers to 50 families each week. They're seeing a growing number of people struggling to put food on the table.
Most weeks we will fill up what we can do and then have to turn people away.
Food insecurity is so dire, doctors at this clinic started noticing symptoms of the centuries-old disease. They later diagnosed 27 cases of scurvy. So rare today, single cases are often the focus of entire studies.
Vitamin C is just sort of a canary in the coal mine, if you will, in terms of what else people might be nutrient deficient in.
The cases have people pointing to high grocery prices. At stores like this one, high transport costs mean fresh fruits and vegetables are often limited and more expensive. And for many, that's putting healthy food increasingly out of reach.
It's crazy. You only got one grocery store, one large grocery store. So, I mean, what do?
I took this picture myself here. Butterball turkey, 21 pounds, $168.
$168 for turkey.
Yeah.
Jordan McPhail represents Northwest Saskatchewan in the provincial legislature. He's hearing from people struggling to afford healthy food, especially in the most remote communities.
Families are making impossible decisions. They're trying to feed their families as most nutritious diet as they can, but they're not able to get the fresh produce.
And actual vitamin C tablets.
The easiest treatment, says Irvin, is these low-cost vitamins. But the scurvy cases highlight the need for sustainable solutions, like harvesting traditional foods high in nutrients.
I think the answer is really like, what does the community value and what does the community want to see on their plate?
A challenge Spring expects will grow as climate change could further impact northern foods. Alexander Silberman, CBC News, La Ronge, Saskatchewan.
Some cucumbers are being recalled due to potential salmonella contamination. It deals with Sun-Fed Produce brand whole, fresh American cucumbers. They were sold in BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Ontario between mid-October and the end of November. Some people have already fallen ill in the United States. The excitement is growing with the second season of the Professional Women's Hockey League about to get underway.
It's emotional to think about where the games come from, where we've come to.
How it's inspiring a new generation on the ice. Plus, a controversial approach to drug treatment being considered in Canada is already happening in one U.S. state.
I think involuntarily committing somebody is the worst avenue, but sometimes it's the only avenue.
Should drug users be forced into treatment? And later, Australia takes a hard line on kids and social media.
This is a conversation that should have started 20 years ago.
Should Canada do the same? The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next. An early winter blast dumped heavy snow on parts of Ontario's cottage country today as intense snow squalls moved across the province. Some areas could get up to 75 centimeters of snow by Sunday, with snow squall warnings in effect for several cities. Officials cautioning there could be low visibility and dangerous road conditions. Tomorrow, the puck drops on Season 2 of the Professional Women's Hockey League. Building off the success of its debut, Sarah Levitt shows us how the league is shaping up with more for fans to enjoy.
New names and jerseys, plus a high-profile video game treatment for EA Sports.
And she gets it!
And Canadian broadcast partners for every single one of the games secured. The Professional Women's Hockey League is back for its sophomore year with season openers Saturday. And the league is trying to live up to the hype of its highly successful first year.
Record after record, step after step, glass ceiling after glass ceiling being shattered, and it doesn't stop here.
It's emotional to think about where the games come from, where we've come to. We have the ability now for many, many young girls around the world to not see a world that doesn't have professional women's hockey. I think it changes everything.
And those young girls are hyped up. At Bourget College High School just outside of Montreal, these 15 to 18-year-olds are coached by a hockey legend. Three-time Olympic medalist Mélodie Daoud decided to retire after playing in the PWHL's inaugural season. Now she coaches the next generation.
They do want to continue, and obviously with the new league, it's something that the girls are looking forward to and hoping and dreaming about it.
Just ask 15-year-old Madison Lévesque, recently named to Quebec's under-18 girls team. It's the first year she's not playing on a boys team.
Every generation before us always wished for a league like this one, and yeah, I think it's great for us.
And do you want to play in it?
Yes, for sure, yeah.
Not only is there a league, there are plans to expand. Cities are clamoring for a chance. More than 25 proposals have already been sent in.
I think the opportunities that are the result of this league are massive.
As the puck drops on season 2, the key is continuing the momentum and keeping fans entertained. Sarah Levitt, CBC News, Montreal.
Now it's time to dig deeper into the stories shaping our world. Australia has just put into law the world's first total social media ban for those under 16, but how's it going to work in practice?
Even if you try restriction on anyone under 16, what are they going to do? Check everyone's ID?
But first, tackling Canada's overdose crisis and the debate over involuntary treatment.
I think involuntarily committing somebody is the worst avenue, but sometimes it's the only avenue.
The complex challenge of helping those in need without adding to the harm. Julie Wong examines the experience of Washington State, the law, the logistics, and the lessons for Canada.
In the state of Washington, like many places across North America, a drug epidemic has taken over.
You could be walking down the street and next thing you know, you look to your right and you see someone just using.
Every year, hundreds overdose and die in this state. Many more survive, then do it all again.
People will use whatever they can get their hands on.
Washington State has something Canada doesn't have right now. It can force someone with addictions into treatment against their will. So we came here to find out how it works. It all started with a man named Ricky Garcia.
Ricky would light up the room. He was extremely funny. He had a beautiful smile.
But Ricky was also an addict, alcohol and opioids.
Ricky's drug of choice was yes, please.
Between 2010 and 2012, he was in and out of emergency rooms and ICUs, his friend Lauren Davis by his side. She admits to using the state's Mental Health Involuntary Treatment Act to get Ricky treatment 6 times. In disbelief, there was nothing similar for substance use.
I just remembered thinking, how can that be?
In 2012, Ricky went into long-term recovery. Then both he and Davis lobbied for what would eventually become Ricky's Law.
Sometimes you need someone to say no for you when you can't say no for yourself. Because I could not be involuntarily committed to substance abuse treatment, I nearly died.
Every life is worth saving, no matter the diagnosis.
It allows a state to force someone with substance use issues into treatment.
My floor desk is just here.
It pushed Davis into public service. In 2018, she was elected a state representative.
Why do you think involuntarily committing someone is the best avenue?
I don't think involuntarily committing somebody is the best avenue. I think involuntarily committing somebody is the worst avenue, but sometimes it's the only avenue.
One criticism of laws like this is that it takes people's rights and freedoms away because they don't have that choice anymore. It's made for them. How do you respond to those critics?
There is no provision in United States or Canadian law that could compel a person, to ongoing recovery in perpetuity. They ultimately have to make that choice. But when a person is so sick, they've lost the gift of choice at that point. And so it gives them that opportunity back.
In Washington State, there are 4 treatment facilities for Ricky's Law.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
The director of one of them, Recovery Place Kent, invited us inside.
When a person is in crisis, they really need someone to step in and really look at what's going on with them and get them help that they need when they're not able to.
Patients arrive from hospital in an ambulance and are moved to an intake room.
We do a skin check, we get them to shower, we do screening questions.
Here, there are 16 involuntary treatment beds for substance use.
These are the types of rooms that patients live in. They're set up with the basics, but they are allowed to bring books, magazines, and photos.
We couldn't show patient gathering spaces due to confidentiality. Here, they take part in activities and group sessions where they learn about triggers, relapse, and prevention. As we toured, we noticed how secure the building was.
Does it start to feel like a jail when you can only get in and out of a place with badges, when everything's locked, when you might have to restrain someone?
I don't look at it like that because we look at it as treatment. I think the amazing approach that we have to patient care overshadows the stigma that we often deal with involuntary commitment. This is not jail.
After an initial 5-day hold, a court decides if a patient will be held for days or even months longer. The hope is the patient chooses to voluntarily get treatment, a forced sober second thought. Hardy says about a third of the people who complete a court-ordered treatment here end up relapsing and coming back.
Do you see it as a failure if someone comes back, if it didn't work the first time to have them involuntary committed and then they're back again?
Absolutely not a failure. No, we don't believe in failures here. It's a chance to help them again, to work on things.
Running around here, it made me feel like at home.
Christoph Burgos believes involuntary treatment saved his life. In March, Burgos was in crisis.
I was practically dead when I went to the hospital, and the doctors were like, dude, if you keep drinking, you're going to die. And your nostrils are inflamed from all the cocaine, and your liver or your kidneys are failing because of the pills.
From there, he was sent here.
Do you remember what went through your head when you found out that you were involuntarily committed?
I was very upset, very upset.
But that soon changed for Burgos.
Coming here and being able to actually stay away from alcohol, which was my main vice, it made me realize, dude, you don't need alcohol. It's not good for you.
He was discharged after 30 days.
Do you think you would have got to a point where you decided you needed help?
I was trying to kill myself, so I don't think I would have.
So this saved your life?
Yeah.
But even the woman behind the law admits it isn't perfect.
The process for civil commitment is very clunky. It's both a medical process, but it's also a legal process.
There could be lessons learned from how the law rolled out in Washington state, like the infrastructure that's required, the number of staff needed, and the logistics that have to be sorted out so the system works for the people it's intended to help.
We don't detain because they've been out drinking alcohol. It's the imminence behind it.
Designated crisis responders, or DCRs, make the call about who is involuntarily committed, but they say there aren't enough of them to meet demand. Another issue, facilities can decline patients with complex needs.
Even though somebody might meet criteria per our laws, we might not be able to find a facility to actually take them.
On top of that, it can be hard to find ambulances to get patients to open beds.
One thing that we're up against is transportation from the other side of the state, Eastern Washington. They don't have enough transportation available, so people are in the emergency room for 2 to 3 days while they're waiting to come here.
As the drug crisis becomes more visible, there's urgency in finding a solution. The Tacoma Needle Exchange is the first legally sanctioned syringe exchange in the United States. This community, like many others across North America, are grappling with how to respond and react to the opioid crisis.
And this is the dispensary. So here we have syringes, various gauges. We have cookers, cottons.
Here, they help roughly 3,500 clients a year.
In the years since Ricky's Law came into effect, do you feel like it's had an impact visibly? So I'm talking about on the streets, just in general.
No.
Then do you think it's worth it to have a law like that?
Personally, no, I don't. I think that it makes people feel good. And I do think that there are folks that, that really would have liked that law to be around when their loved ones were struggling with substance use disorder.
At the same time, even Likoski is conflicted.
I don't think people should be snatched off the street and thrown into treatment. Although I'm going to be completely honest, if I were the parent of a child who was in that situation, I would feel relieved if they were detained and involuntary committed.
I don't like that, you know what I mean?
Isaiah Fillmore understands that nuance. The 23-year-old is a recovering addict. Less than 3 weeks after this photo was taken, he overdosed and realized he had to make different choices.
I'm not getting any younger. How long am I going to keep going, until I just lose all opportunity and chances to live a better life? It's just, I can't do that to my family.
Fillmore went to treatment voluntarily. It was his second time. He's now looking for a job and hopes to go to college. While he says involuntary treatment could help some, he doesn't think it would have worked on him. He says he had to get to a point where he wanted to change.
When you want something, no matter what the circumstances are, you will do anything to get what you want.
Jonathan Buchholz feels the same way. He treats patients with substance use disorders and is a critic of involuntary treatment.
When folks are forced into treatment, there's actually inconsistent evidence that forced treatment has good long-term outcomes for people. It would be better if we spent more time and resources treating folks who wanted treatment.
He says there are details Canadians should look for if similar legislation is presented.
At what point do you determine that someone has the capacity to make a decision for themselves?
For Lauren Davis, Ricky's story ultimately ended in tragedy. In 2020, after 8 years of sobriety, he relapsed. He was detained 4 times under Ricky's law. In May 2023, while in the throes of addiction and traumatized by previous detainments, Ricky ran south to Oregon to escape his own law.
Ricky himself came to this Capitol campus and begged lawmakers to save lives like his. He believed in it, and it saved his life multiple times. And when he was using, he was terrified of it. And I don't blame him.
Loved ones found Ricky, and he came home. He entered treatment voluntarily, but 36 hours later, he was dead.
Do you think it says something, though, that Ricky, who you said was very smart, who knew the law, understood how it worked, that he himself, after all of that, did not want to be subject to it?
There's nothing about this disease that is rational, and it doesn't respond to logic.
With all its imperfections and aspirations, Davis still believes in Ricky's law, even as the debate over whether it's right or wrong persists.
And I will never minimize the trauma that Ricky did experience because of his civil commitments. I would do it again. I mean, I got 10 more years with him because of civil commitment, and I wouldn't trade that for anything.
So Davis wants something good to come from Ricky's experience, and she's working on a law to make the physical process of detaining someone less traumatic.
Lots in your story that's interesting. What did you find notable as you did your reporting?
Yeah, many people told us that they didn't like to see people involuntarily detained. You know, we heard that from critics of Ricky's law. We heard that from Davis, our state lawmaker. But at the same time, sometimes they also acknowledged that maybe there isn't another option. So watching people wrestling with these opposing views and seeing them wrestle with that conflict was really striking.
And remind us, Julia, where things stand in terms of the law in Canada.
So there's a reason why I'm standing here tonight in the Alberta legislature. This province has signaled that it will be bringing forward what it calls compassionate intervention legislation. And it's not alone. There are other provinces that are also discussing this, like Ontario and BC. But so far, Alberta's the only one with concrete plans. And it says it plans to introduce that legislation in the spring.
Julia Wong in Edmonton tonight. Coming up, Australia is banning social media for those under 16. Should Canada consider doing the same?
For all the criticism of social media, it is a lifeline for so many.
We'll break down how realistic the approach is next. A new Australian law bans those under 16 from social media platforms. Companies must comply or face millions in fines.
I think restrictions are definitely warranted, but not an outright ban.
I still feel like they should leave it to the parents to decide.
So are there lessons for Canada? We talk about whether this ban will work and how. Carmi Levy is a technology analyst and journalist who's been watching this story. And what's your reaction to Australia banning people under the age of 16 from using social media?
I mean, I think in the sense of introducing something that has needed to be introduced for a while, doing something about the pervasive problem of social media, the impact on our mental health, particularly our young people, we should laud the Australian government for bringing it to the fore, making it a national priority and indeed a global priority. But let's not fool ourselves. Bans don't work. Kids are very smart. I've got 3 of them. And the instant you say no to them, that's their cue almost to work around this. And so this This isn't something that's going to magically fix this. There are no magic bullets or panaceas, but certainly as an initial step in ensuring that our kids are as safe as they can be in the digital landscape, it's an important start.
Do you think Australia is serious about this? And if so, do they have any kind of plan at all?
I think they're very serious about it. Australia has always been somewhat progressive in terms of being the first in the world to introduce tech-forward legislation. Look no further than their online news legislation, which was ultimately copied by Canada. But even the agency that is charged with enforcing it recognizes that the technology to make this law happen on the ground simply doesn't exist just yet. It's going to be developed on the fly, and they can't answer questions about how this is going to come to life.
I guess one of the things that you try to do, and I just don't know, A, if the tech is there, and B, if a small country like Australia can wrestle the big tech giants to the ground on this, but presumably you say to the tech companies themselves, this is your job, your responsibility to figure out a way to, if not eliminate, then at least reduce the number of people under 16 on social media. Do you see any possibility of success there?
I think in terms of moving the tech companies toward more ethical and moral behaviors that recognize the damage their products cause and do more to protect those who use them, I think that's a positive. But I think to expect it to completely close the gap, absolutely not. This is a conversation that should have started 20 years ago. We're only starting it now. We've allowed the technology companies to race ahead, create businesses and business models that largely exploit those who use their technologies. And so we're kind of trying to play catch up here, and we will move the needle. It will move things in the right direction, but we're not going to solve this just with one simple law. No one country can pull that off.
You know, it's interesting how public debate goes. We hear all this criticism of social media, particularly for young people. Then when there's a ban, what we start hearing is what's good about social media for young people, including connecting disparate groups of vulnerable children, let's say those struggling with mental health. Are you worried about those groups being cut off from social media?
This keeps me up at night because for all the criticism of social media, it is a lifeline for so many who might not have otherwise have access to critical resources, critical supports, and they get them through social media. This is their digital town square. If you cut them off, you essentially cut them off from the supports that in many cases are keeping them engaged and in some keeping them alive. So we're throwing the baby out with the bathwater here, and we need to recognize that technologies themselves aren't all good or all bad. There are many shades of gray, and you can't simply turn it off and expect to resolve that issue. You cause more problems than you solve.
Just 20 seconds left. Any lessons here for Canada?
Yeah, I think, certainly recognize that you're not going to solve it with one law, and you need to make sure that the resources on the ground to provide support to these kids, not just turning it off, is much more important than releasing a populist law that might score some points politically, but ultimately doesn't move the needle for our kids.
Carmi Levy, technology analyst and parent. Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.
Next, young children with disabilities are given the gift of mobility.
Certain things that are just going to open up her world a little bit more go a long way.
The car is carrying them to new places in our moment. That is Priscilla, a 4-year-old from Edmonton, riding around on her brand new motorized mobility vehicle. This is part of a joint collaboration between a local nonprofit and a team of engineers who volunteered to give kids like her a new shot at mobility. And tonight, it makes our moment.
She's a very bright, funny, silly 4-year-old, like 100%, but it's just her body doesn't do exactly what she wants it to.
It was a project from the ground up. The most important piece being that it's customizable for each child. It's almost like a race car seat, where it completely holds your body.
Some of the kids were like playing like bumper cars, and like they were just having fun, and it was so sweet. Even with Priscilla, like she has bad days where she's just like, no, like I'm not in the mood. I don't want to participate. And, she was just all smiles and super happy. And it seemed like the other kiddos were having a great time too.
It was both rewarding, but also a little bit emotional, seeing the smiles in the children's faces and just the pure look of joy in their eyes as they're scooting around in the cars for the first time. It was wonderful.
She's a fully dependent 4-year-old, but with a fully independent spirit. Certain things that are just gonna open up her world a little bit more go a long way.
So our producer Joey was looking into this, and apparently it's usually at an older age that kids would get access to mobility vehicles, and at that point they kind of lose a certain amount of time for their brain to adapt to it. In this case, it's something like 20 hours of work to put those together, $700. Of course, a lot of volunteer work, but you can see the results in all of those smiles from the parents too, right? That is the National for November 29th. Join me Sunday for Cross Country Checkup on CBC Radio and CBC News Network, and later that night back here for the National. Have a great Saturday.